zapping all you hoes away like get back, ZAP, zapping all you hoes away like get back, ZAP, zapping all you hoes away like get back, ZAP, zapping all you hoes away like get back, 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 ZAP, zapping all you hoes away like ZAP, zapping all you hoes away like.
I could have done this. Like, I could have won this. Like, hey, I left because it was my... Like, you know, just came with that, which isn't very encouraging, is it?
Oh.
And I think that it irritated me.
Everybody go. 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 Hey y'all, come into the classroom. Let me know when you're in the classroom. Come on into the classroom. Listen, I got, as one of my gifts for my birthday to my P.O. box, some lotion and whipped soap from the company by the name of Alter Ego Cosmeceuticals. Miss Alter Ego Cosmeceuticals, and they did not pay me to say this, smells the fuck good. I wish I had the jar of that whipped. I had never heard of whipped body soap before. That was the first time. Whipped body soap. It smells righteous. They sent me this lotion. Again, this is Alter Ego Cosmeceuticals Mind Over Lather Soaps and Cosmetics Handcrafted Body Lotion. Bitch! When I tell y'all, it smells so... Ooh! It just popped out on me. Oh my God. I just got out the shower. Sorry, y'all. I had to take a bath for Annelise. Give me 1 second. Let me just loosen up my chest. I gotta feel like a woman. I'm sorry. And women aren't ashy or stinky. All right, y'all. What? Oh, hold on. Give me 1 second. What's going on, everybody? My name is Oliver Twixt, the head nerd in charge. Wait, that's not my intro. I done fucked up my own thing, y'all. I'm sorry. What's going on, everybody? This is Oliver Twixt, your nerd boy cutie, reporting for duty, here to do the Lord's work. What's up, God? I am talking to one of my favorite contestants of all time. She also has been curating her own top model content. Oh, now this is too much soap. Now, hold on. I mean, too much lotion. She has curated her own top model content on YouTube. She is Masterpiece. The Masterpiece. Annelise. I am so excited to talk to Annelise. I'm kind of shocked. I had to take a shower because I was like, and not saying I be coming dirty to the lies, but it's just like, you know, for Annelise, I gotta come right. You know, I have to like, you know, just make sure my hair, was like, I'm not gonna put on a hat. I had to come right anyways. It's 3:06, so without further ado, as I lather in this last bit of lotion, bring Annelise onto the chat.
The way I had to get my lips ready. You shocked me, honey. OMG. Oliver, how long?
This is so... you look
actually
amazing.
Too much.
No,
I'm actually... In your intro, I'm trying to calm myself down because you're just hyping me up. My head's all getting big. I'm like...
But you're that girl.
Look, there's like, how do you feel about doing these lives? Because I'm still pretty nervous doing lives. Like, there's an energy that flows through me, and I'm like, this is like now. let
Well,
down.
you know, when I watched Top Model, Annalise taught me on cycle 18 that you take the nerves by the horns. I don't know if you ever said this, but you did it. You always take the nerves by the horn and you lead with personality and everything would be great.
Just let it, my ethos, let it be.
Just
If
let
your
it be.
my energy speaks volumes. Oh God, that sounds so big-headed, but you know what it is? It's the fandom out there that tell me. And a lot of people, when I meet them, they're like, oh yeah, you be doing stuff. And I'm like, I'm just trying to be basic. I'm normal. I don't know what you're talking about. And it just gets kind of crazy. But honestly, the way that you get forward, babe, channel that energy. You see that when you get a little bit scared and you're a bit nervous,
use it.
Use it.
Use it.
Fake it until you make
use
it.
Use it. Use it.
Yeah.
Use it. Use it. Listen, in the gay world, we have an art form called reading, right? Called reading. And to be an astute... No, I'm not going to read. Annalise, I can never read you.
Okay.
I want to get into heaven, so I can never read you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Go for it, yes.
But anyways, in the art form of reading, to be an astute reader, you have to know how to take on reads, neutralize them, and then redirect it. So I say that to say, when it comes to things that require you to go forward and you get nervous, you have to know how to take the energy in.
You're basically a model, babe, because that's exactly what I tell myself modeling for the 20 plus years that I've been modeling. That is literally what I tell myself. Don't let no one's opinions, comments, reads can affect the situation.
Yes, because if you're the one who's up front and center, you're the one with the mic. And so you're the one who sets the tone for the room.
Yeah, I just feel you've just got to do you.
Always.
I feel like this is what I'm all about, trying to promote and stuff. Like, I don't know, I'm out here on Instagram, and for me, it's like, there's so much fakeness about, and don't get me wrong, I understand that a lot of people perceive me as being quite fake.
Oh, me too.
Yes, it's the energy though.
Yeah,
people
because
don't believe that you can keep that up.
Yes, people don't believe that you can be happy. And it's like, just because you fucking bitches are allowing Satan and all of his imps to rain down on your parade doesn't mean I'm not going to get some rain boots and march through the streets happy.
This is what I'm saying. This was the problem, Oliver. This is why I think Kelly took a disliking to me.
Really? Yeah, like I've in my little world of chasing Atlanta, people always say Oliver's not like that. And my friends and people who know, they're like, this is exactly who he is. And I just think, first of all, people judge other people according to themselves and what they're able to do and what they're capable of. So that's not top model, but to give y'all girls some tea, if somebody's always accusing you of something, 9 times out of 10, they're guilty of whatever they're accusing you of.
You've said it, haven't you? You've said that on the show so many times.
Yes. So it's like, I think people think, well, I can't be that happy, or I'm not that happy. So why are they that happy? Clearly, it must be a front. Clearly, I think
different people have different things going on. I think you can have a naturally happy personality. And people just sometimes mistake that as being fake. Like, I was going to say, because you're kind of, I realized, crap, I've got shit to do. So I was supposed to be I did jury service today.
What did you do?
I served my country. I turned up. You have to wait around and then get picked. I didn't want to get picked because it was like some deep ass case, and it was literally like 2 weeks long. And I was like,
what was it about? Who did it?
You know what? I don't think I'm actually allowed to say, because they did give us some info. I don't think I'm actually allowed to say, but it was like jury service. I had to wake up super early, get there, blah, blah, blah. Ended up waiting around all day, and I didn't get picked. So then I came, but brilliant. That's great news. Oh, I had whole outfits. I don't know if you've seen my outfit checks. Oh, babe. I was serving looks. Jury service. Looks. Court Cutrone is what I called it. Yes, I was serving angles, babe, everything. Just because I haven't been anywhere. We've been in lockdown. What are we doing? And when I found out I had jury service, I knew that it was going to be about the outfits. So, yeah. You got a question?
Yeah, I want to know, because I know the UK is on a more strict lockdown than the US is. Who the fuck is getting in trouble and getting arrested that y'all even got to show up for jury duty?
I'm assuming that these are cases that have been held. So one thing I will say is that the trial that I was going to be on was something that happened February 2020.
Gotcha.
Do you know what I mean? There's a delay because of the pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
And usually if you don't get picked, they'll make you turn up the next day. But luckily, they were like, there's not enough cases. You can go home. I was like, thank God, because all I'm doing is editing TikToks, sitting here. I'd rather go home. And I came home and was like, boom, done with jury service. So excited. Literally, I thought, oh crap, am I actually, don't get me wrong, it seemed really juicy case, but I didn't actually want to be there. I'd rather be at home, which is where we have been. And so I came home, did some TikToks, and was literally like, oh my God, it's like 10 to 8 and I'm supposed to be doing something with the Oliver. So here I am.
You're just the cutest little thing. It's just like press play and watch it. Just watch it go.
It's a ramble. The words just fly out of your mouth.
Oh yes, and I have to stop some of them sometimes because, girl, ooh,
silence is a virtue, and I'm still learning that stuff. Do you know what I mean? I do think I'm not very good at it. You know, slowly but surely, I'll get good at mastering silence, but for now, it's like my energy in the talking, and I just want to, even when I have a thought, I just want to like throw it out. That's not throwing out my thought.
I want to like be interviewed by you. Like, you're just so, I don't know why you don't understand you're so iconic. Cause like, I'm just sitting watching you and just, girl, stop it.
Don't make me blush. I can't. But that's the thing, that to be fair, the reason that I'm less nervous about this live is because I don't have to do anything. Babe, you are here interviewing me. I'm just going to sit.
Listen, I felt so weird. I won't say feel so weird. So, you know, normally the girls I talk to, they don't have any content out. You know, it's only you and then Mercedes and April. So I was like, well, I don't want to ask her all these questions because she's already talked about it ad nauseum. Ad nauseum for you guys is a nice word to say repetitively.
Yeah, I wanted to say as a disclaimer on this live.
Repeatedly. A bunch of times, goddammit.
Honestly, I don't know what else I have to add. Because I've said everything. Maybe you'll ask me questions that I haven't thought about, so I'll answer them. But honestly, anything that I know and remember, I feel like has come out of my mouth already. Because that's what I've been doing. Yeah, YouTube and the whole thing, it was an escalation out of lockdown. I got so many messages during the beginning of lockdown, so it almost feels like a year ago, of people asking me about it. And I was like,
it's been a year.
Distressing. It's basically a year. Like, it's so upsetting to me. I'll tell you, if we're going to talk a little bit about lockdown, for me, I'm so aware that there are so many people in worse off situations than myself.
There are people with war in their countries.
And so there's almost a guilt that when I feel bad, I think, oh my God, these other people. But what I've tried to remember is it's all perspective, right? It's all relative. It's all relative to your situation.
It's crazy you say that. I was just talking to my boyfriend about that last night. I was just talking about that like in depth last night. Exactly what you're saying.
We can't judge it person by person. And of course we can be respectful and, you know, try and at least be awareness, major key.
Awareness.
But honestly, my major problem with this lockdown, and I'm just going to speak for me and my situation, which might be better problems to have, I just want to leave the country. I just lying down and going on a beach on a holiday and somewhere. I'm a traveler. I don't think you realize. I leave the country, and can you guys leave if you wanted to go on holiday? You could. We're not allowed. There's an official ban, like ban. But if you ban.
Yeah, I think Alisha was telling me if you guys go somewhere, you have to spend like 2 weeks somewhere else. Like you have to like, it's like a 2-week quarantine.
Well, right now, you're not allowed to, because when you spoke, oh God, how good was Alicia's chat?
I'm gonna ask you about that. I know you did a reaction video to it, but hey, I'm gonna ask you more things.
I'm busy. What's going on?
Oh no, this is the work phone. So I just when I hear that go off, it's like just glance at it. Annalise, your tits are like just beautiful. Like this whole area is very nice.
So to be fair, it's actually all Beyonce. I actually don't want to take credit for it.
Okay.
So the reason I'm in this is because I was just doing an Icy Park haul thing on TikTok. So I literally just had it delivered this morning, got super excited, but then realized that I wasn't that excited because it was kind of expensive and bits weren't what I thought they were going to be. But this top is from her previous drop. She did a couple recently. This is from an earlier one, and I called it. I'm going to show you the outfit.
Show me.
Can I do that?
Yes, you can. It's just me and you. No one's watching.
Outfit check in the middle of your shit. Sorry.
No, it's fine.
Hold on. All
Look
right.
at her.
So this top is from the previous drop. Look, I called it Cut to Perfection. It's not her boob. It's just her top. It's like super stretchy and it like does stuff. And then we've got the legging that you can't really see. So I'm going to try and get a little bit. Look, there we go.
Ooh, little booty tooch.
And there's panelage. Oh. It's like panelage. You can't see the panelage. The half screen isn't enough. But honestly, I'm feeling kind of cute.
Yeah, it's very cute. It's very cute.
She's just asking for too much money for us, though.
You're just so cute. Okay. We're gonna keep rambling, and we can't keep rambling because they're gonna like get mad.
For too many hours. I'm so sorry.
No, it's
20 minutes of rambling. That's fine. If you want to get down to the questions.
No, they'll just start cursing me out after a while. Like, we came here for lies. I'm like, shut up.
I actually haven't been paying attention, so I don't know what's going on. Everyone's just lots of love. That's what I'll take.
They're so nice. Hey, everybody.
The ANTM fandom. I didn't realize. After I did my first set of reaction videos after the show, so we're talking back 2012 or whatever, and I mean, I did shitty, like, from your laptop.
I saw them. That was a read.
How bad are they? I don't want to remove them because that's just what people did. That's how it was. They're so lame and so ridiculous.
Don't take them down, though. It's history.
It's history. That's how I feel about it. So they can stay there. But I was like, no, we need to... Let's update this with some sass and some personality. Let's do a little reaction video. Pop that in the bottom corner. Give you...
Yes!
It's been fun. It feels like it's been like a journey for the last year, recapping and reminiscing.
So listen, so like from one ANTM curator to another, you know, I've had an amazing year. A lot of it due to the chats that I've done. How has it been for you doing your own content? And you are in the class with me of people who are creating online content for Top Model, and you are actually a girl who was there. So how has it been for this year creating content and like getting the DMs, getting the comments, getting like, you know, whatever? How's it been?
Honestly, like therapy. I think I'm only going to speak for myself, but doing the show and it being so long ago, you forget. You completely and utterly forget that you did that. And I think that we should all be proud for the fact that that is something that's part of our histories and our experience and I literally, don't get me wrong, it's always been a highlight. I always consider it a highlight in my career in terms of where I'm trying to get to. But actually hearing how much people care and the questions and the comments and and they want to know this and I'm like, babe, this is like literally, it's a decade. It's a decade.
It's a decade.
And it's so nice. It's humbling. Even today, it's going to sound like I'm making this up, but I swear to God this happened today. Queuing up for jury service. So we've got to be socially distant. So there's a lot of space in between each people as we're queuing outside this court.
Right.
There's a black woman. I'm going to assume she was African of some sort, right? with the trays to do the metal detectors to go into the court, blah, blah, blah. Lines moving, yada, yada, yada. And she looked at me and she went, aren't you from America's Next Top Model?
Uh-huh.
Yes. Hi, you're right. How are you? I get really fucking embarrassed. Like, hi. And then I don't know, am I supposed to keep the conversation going? I didn't know what to say after that. She was really lovely to me, handling going through security and putting what I needed to do through the security thing. But I forget. And when somebody gets excited for meeting me, it's like it's like this moment where you're like, oh, wow, I bloody well did that. And I get a little bit like, I did that. I'm really proud of myself. There's been so much negativity about it.
What, like, there's been a lot of newsworthy things that have come out of Top Model, and I can just run them down. You know, Gina Turner doing that big expose a couple of years ago that went viral. Jay Manuel doing his his every Friday chats. What else? Oliver, you know, Eugenia's, the Alishas. What has shocked you the most? Like, oh my God.
Oh my God, does that sound bad? Nothing's really shocked me.
Oh.
Nothing shocked me. But I promise you, I think to be honest, anybody who watches my YouTube, I don't feel like it was a negative experience, me personally. I'll tell you the one thing that shocked me so much was seeing all the reactions from all these girls, all these interviews that you've done with these horrific experiences. And don't get me wrong, I knew that shit went down. But if we're going to talk specifically about, like, even Alicia's the main example that I'm going to use. The fact that we did the same show, the same cycle, it was the same people and the same blah, blah, blah. And even Sophie, obviously, you spoke to Sophie. We've had such different experiences. From the same 3 months, 2 months. I'm not hurt by Top Model. I'm not hurt by Tyra Banks. I'm not hurt by, do I feel like I was exploited? No more than I realized that I was trying to exploit the situation. If I'm honest, I knew what it was. And even back then, I knew it was about getting a platform to do what you do.
Right.
And I personally, maybe that's because I didn't have past trauma.
I was gonna ask you, yes.
There wasn't something for them to prey on. Even on Britain's Next Top Model, they struggled to give me a storyline. Like, what was the you know, there's always got to be like a
little thing.
A little thing. I feel like they struggled to do that on Britain's Next Top Model, the same way they struggled to do that on Top Model. However, giving us the characters of, like, what was it, the superpowers, Excite to Buy, and all of that or whatever, kind of helped them.
30 Never!
I don't mind mine. Mine wasn't that bad. Don't get me wrong. It sounds shit, and I would never be like, oh my God, I'm Excite to Buy. But I actually think it's one of the truest ones there. I do think I'm good at talking people into stuff. And if you want to buy some ice and you might be an Eskimo, I'm sure I might be able to convince you of that. That's all I'm saying.
I mean, Kelly Cutrone said your voice haunted her every day she went to sleep and woke up. So you must be doing something right.
I don't know. Whether it's right or wrong, it's me. And I decided, after Britain's Next Top Model specifically, I decided what came out of my mouth was coming out of my mouth. Edit it how you will. This is coming. Britain's Next Top Model, I thought about every word I said. And I think it made me come across a little bit contrived. Like, I don't know. Like,
contrived?
Yes. Yeah. And, like, this is why I can't watch not that I can't watch it. I don't want to make it sound so dramatic, but a lot of the fans ask for me to do reactions to Britain's Next Top Model.
Yes. That's one of my questions. What's that right there that makes you say, about Britain's Next Top Model. I've never watched it. I'm sorry.
I don't know.
The fans want me to do international cycle. I'm like, no, that's too much. I'll die.
Yeah, it's too much. No, it's too much. Obviously, that was I say introduction. Of course, I started out watching America's Next Top Model, but as soon as you find that your own country has got a top model going on, especially if you're trying to be a model, you get involved. So I was involved.
The no-brainer.
What is it? It might just be because it seems super old to me. Like the quality and maybe where I watch it, it just doesn't look right. I also don't like the way I came across on it. It makes me cringe. And it's crazy that I'd say that Britain's Next Top Model makes me cringe when you've got America's Next Top Model where it's crazy. I don't understand. I stand by who I am, and I feel like I knew more of who I am. And don't get me wrong, I've obviously developed and I'm not that same girl, but I feel like I stood by who I am more on America's Next Top Model than I did on Britain's. I feel like I was like, oh, say the right thing, and I came across a bit arrogant, and I don't know if it was I don't know. I feel like I came across very arrogant, and I'm not sure if that was related to my race. It's hard to put me in a box because I think the way I speak contradicts a lot of stereotypes that might exist.
Now you have to help me out with that and understand. So the way I'm hearing you speak translates to me as just a UK accent, which I know that's not. I know that's not right. That's why I'm asking you. Explain to me what you just said. What does that mean?
So I grew up in Hackney, which is North London, so you see how Alisha talked about living in South London, which was the ghetto. We talked about maybe a comment that I said to her, something so about her living in the ghetto, something so. But honestly, Hackney, I live on a council estate. I don't know if that's like the project. The project makes it sound proper deep. It ain't that deep. But it's not like I live in a great area or anything. However, growing up, and I'm just going to say generally lived in the same part of London, north-ish, different boroughs. I used to get bullied for speaking well, for being posh. Like the
posh.
Yeah, I don't know. And it's so crazy because my mum is St. Lucian, my dad's Caribbean. Okay. There's not really, I suppose my parents speak well, but there's not really a reason for it. Like, it's not like I'm I don't know. I just clearly know how to articulate, which stood out. Let's put it that way. Because you know when you're a kid and you're an adolescent, standing out is the reason to bully you. So that stood out. And yeah, I ended up moving schools and stuff. And I don't know, but at the end of the day, the outcome of that is that I actually get paid to talk. Like the fact that I'm a voiceover artist and do radio and stuff shows you that I was born to do what I do. And that's what I firmly believe. But it wasn't that easy growing up. I'm an only child.
Me too.
Have you got siblings?
I mean, I have siblings on my father's side, but I didn't grow up with them. So I'm the only child. I
am like the true only child from each parent. Which, to be fair, anytime I say that, everyone's like, oh, that makes sense.
No, but I mean, I get it though. Having my boyfriend explain to me what it was. Like the only child syndrome. It's a real thing. It's a real thing. Yeah, me too.
Oh, I was like 20 before I realized that the world didn't revolve around me. It was very upsetting. I'm still.
Yeah, I just found out last year.
Yeah. Go on, give me some of these ANTM questions.
You ready?
I'm so bad because I feel like we could just ramble and have an actual conversation, but I know you've got questions. Ask your questions.
Did you see me kick my feet up on my couch? Because I'm like, I'm about to get in her ass.
Give me some cleavage. I'm liking the boob. I've got boob. You got some. Yeah.
They're not as pronounced as yours, but they're there. And the
like
boys
I said,
Beyonce
is just copying this shit to perfection.
My man still says hello, hello, hello.
Hello.
Like an old Metro PCS phone. Hello, hello, hello. Permission to speak freely.
The way I want to come to Atlanta, one of my best friends is born and raised Atlanta, but lives in Ghana. She's lived here. Like, the way I need to hit up some strip clubs, babe.
Oh yeah, well, what kind do you want to go to? Do you want to go to the posh ones, or do you want to go to the Annelise strip clubs, or do you want to go to the Alisha strip clubs?
You know what? Perfect analogy. Perfect. An Annalise one would be great.
Okay. Well, there's one downtown from me called Cheetah. It's very nice. It's very pretty.
What part? Is that too much information? But what part of Atlanta?
Oh no. I told people all the time, I live downtown Atlanta. Like, I live in the center of Atlanta.
So I went once when America's Next Top Model was airing, and I rented a car, flew in from Miami. I used to spend so much time in Miami. Flew in to Atlanta to go to an event, parked a car in downtown Atlanta, and realized that I was probably not in the right place. Yeah, it was fun though. I liked it.
You can't play around like that.
No, I did a photo shoot and stuff in it. Basically, after America's Next Top Model, I was in America when it was airing, and I fucking hustled my ass around that damn country.
I know that's right. That's right.
I'm lucky enough that I went to uni for a semester at the University of Miami.
Oh!
Yes. And my dad's girlfriend's family are from there, so I had like extended family to be with. When the show was airing, I was in Miami. I flew to different places. I flew to LA. That's when I met Lisa D'Amato and Brittany. Lisa took me to her mansion, and we played dress up. We played crazy dress up, and our house is like a castle, and there's a moat, and yeah, I had an Antoinette dress up. Like, yeah, I did a tour of America. Trying to squeeze it dry, basically.
Well, listen, they're cursing us out, so let's get into it.
Oh, I'm not even looking. I'm so sorry. I did mean to have it up.
Annalise, this would not be an ANTM Twix exclusive if you did not do ANTM roll call, which is me naming every girl who was casted on your cycle, and you tell me the first thing that comes to your head: good, bad, ugly, or indifferent. Are you ready? Hey, Tyra, don't come over here with this foolishness. Leave our Wi-Fi alone. Okay, she's back.
Yeah.
Now, I have a question. Was it Jasmia or Jasmaya?
Jasmaya.
It is Jasmaya. So the girls who are where I'm from, they pronounce it Jasmia. So when I was here, I was
like, my God, don't correct me if I'm getting it wrong, but that was my gut.
You know more than I do. It's Jasmaya.
That was my gut just saying Jasmaya. I am not super. It's funny enough, she commented on my story today. We are not close, but we're on socials. Do you know what I mean?
Gotcha.
Jasmaya. But correct me, I could be wrong.
I mean, I hope you would know better than me. She was only your castmate.
That's the first one that I saw when I got off the plane.
Oh.
Lining up in immigration or whatever it is, and I didn't even know Jasmaya, but she was on earlier seasons of Britain's Next Top Model. Clocked eyes and was like, babe. Scary, because we didn't know. We didn't have a clue what was going on. Oh, am I supposed to finish the story? We finished, we went out. Sorry, I don't know. There wasn't much of a story. I'm just saying, because I'm so sorry. Maybe I shouldn't refer to the other interviews that you've had, but like Sophie, for example. Yeah. For example, Sophie told you that she was in the van, and it was me and Jasmaya that approached the van, and then I saw Sophie and was like, oh my God, Sophie. Like, we didn't know who was going to be there. I knew that Ashley was going to be there because I'm nosy as fuck, and I called Ashley before I got on the plane. And so I knew Ashley was good, but I didn't have a clue. We didn't understand what the concept of the show was. So it's not even like you could call people.
Y'all don't understand what the concept, so y'all just got on the plane and said, we'll just figure it out. Hopefully it worked.
Yeah, we knew it was a model competition, and we knew it was America's Next Top Model, but we didn't know getting on the plane that we were going to be on a TV show. We didn't, like, it was kind of like a secondary it was like, you've got to go through this and you've got to go through that. They kind of made it sound like there was going to be a whole bunch of stuff before that. The fact that literally every single British girl, apart from one, do you know about this?
Yes, I do. But tell the people who don't.
So,
the one who's supposed to come
British
and did it.
girl who left from the UK to fly to LA, whatever time that was, we all grouped at a hotel, made it on the show. There was only one girl who didn't, and that wasn't from herself. That was from herself, I should say. That wasn't like somebody put her out of the casting. Her name was Amelia, and she was from Alisha's cycle of Britain's Next Top Model, and red hairs. I think she was either Irish or Welsh. I'm so sorry that I'm getting that confused, but she was one of them. Red hair, bare hair. She was lovely. But the whole quarantine period, she was not for it and decided to go home. So yeah, she was done. She was like, no, I'm going home. She chose to leave. She didn't like that. And fair enough. To be fair, if that's the bit that's going to scare you off, it's probably better that you go home. But it's always made me question whether there was another American girl who then got cut. Because I said, go on. No. It's your interview. I'm so sorry.
No, you're fine. What I just thought about was, I wonder. Now, this is me just going off into deep A&TM, like, theory, like, deep.
You probably know more than me.
No, I don't know shit, but this is me just like kind of piecing things together, maybe in some world that it may exist. So I've always felt like Cycle 17 and 18 were both shake and bake, right? Like, they really didn't. It seemed like there was some lack of planning somewhere. Like, somewhere something happened.
They were literally shitting it out. They didn't have a clue what they were doing.
Yeah. And so even yesterday, when I was binge watching to prepare for today, I noticed that Cycle 17 and 18 have the same type of intro. The white room.
No, wait, but I'm sure you've realized that 17 and 18 are basically the same show. We were shot in the same place. There's so many locations that are exactly the same. And yeah, I know they shot in Greece, blah, 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 and all the rest of it. Music video, same thing, same concept, same blah, blah. Wait, hear the craziness that happened. So between flying to Macau, we spent a night at a hotel. I'm not 100% sure if that hotel is the same hotel that the girls who'd been eliminated were staying at. I'm not 100% sure. It might have been. But we obviously had to stay in the room. What was on TV? America's Next Top Model, Cycle 17. And it was literally like watching the same shit I had just done. It was literally the music video into into branding, Martin Lindstrom and blah, blah, blah. Like, it was literally, while being in it and then watching it.
But so a piece of me thinks, was there supposed to be like an all-star season of the all-star American girls versus the all-star Britain girls?
Oh.
Because it's the two cycles are like the same. Like, they're the same.
Oh. So are you saying that maybe that was the plan, but because of the drama of the elimination and filming it twice and Annelise and Lisa, that maybe they decided to do UK?
Oh no, that's deep theory.
Is that too deep?
Yeah, that's too deep for me.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, that's too deep for me. But I'm just stopping at, because I always wondered, like, who thought it was a great idea to put girls who previously been on Britain's Next Top Model against a new crop of girls we know nothing about. We don't know these people. So it was just something when I noticed that Cycle 17 and 18 had the same exact intro and the same exact setup.
Why do you think they deviated? What's the theory? Why do you think they didn't do American All-Stars? Because technically it wouldn't make sense if you've already done an All-Stars cycle. Bring the next All-Stars. Like, there's only one All-Stars. Like, you don't need...
See, that's what I'm saying. I feel like maybe in some world, it was supposed to be Britain All-Stars against the first group of It gets the first group of
and
top
something
model
went
all-stars.
wrong, are you saying?
And I mean, I'm not trying to be funny. I'm not trying to be funny when I say this, and y'all are not going to make me say any names, but if you did me, I might tell you. There were some girls who were on All-Star 17. I was like, what the fuck is she doing here? Because she's not an All-Star. We don't care about her like that. And it was like, well, maybe we just knew she was recent. Ooh, maybe we just knew she was recent, and we knew she would answer our phone.
Were you current? When All Stars happened, were you watching America's Next Top Model?
Yes.
I wasn't. The way my ass got called to do the show, and I had to backtrack my life to try and. You got to do research. Don't just turn up.
Oh, yes, you must open a book.
And I couldn't watch, obviously, all of All Stars because it was airing at the time. But I was like, no, you need to go back. I checked out from America's Next Top Model, and long before.
No, I did not mean Alexandria. Y'all are some messy people. I like Alexandria.
You know, you know what I'd like to do? Binge watch all of it. But honestly, I haven't done that. I've been so focused on just like looking at 18 that I haven't actually been the glory days. I haven't seen the glory days in a while.
Imagine my life.
Yeah, see, because I've got too much trauma just dealing with the one cycle. The one cycle's enough for me. It's enough. I think it's so upsetting. I don't want to sound like I'm standing up for the shit that happened. The blatant disrespect, the blatant racism, the blatant sexism. I'm not standing up for that in any regard. But I'm almost a bit hesitant about talking about the positive stuff because honestly, that is all like this. It's what I remember and what I hold. And yeah, of course, I remember the focus group or whatever. But for me, the whole experience is not determined by the focus group thing. And I still consider America's Next Top Model a highlight in my career. And I'm so happy that I got the chance to do that. Do you know what this little 10-year-old watching the show, watching these girls, I grew up on that show, and the fact that I got to be on it blows my damn mind. It blows it, regardless of what the opinion of it is now. I get it. It's outdated. I get it. But if you guys want to hear, I'm happy to talk about it.
Well, let's finish roll call.
Oh my God, are we still in that? Oh my God.
But this is so fine. I think everyone who follows both of us, everyone who follows both of us knew this was going to happen. So I think
that's why they were excited. They knew it was going to be like some long ass story.
Okay, Mariah.
I have no negative feelings. Am I supposed to say one word? But
it's whatever comes to your brain.
Yeah, no negative feelings towards her. I think she was pretty nice. But nice is not necessarily a compliment.
Oh. Okay.
Like I'm sure she's lovely. Oh my, let me just think. Stop, move on. What the hell?
Oh no, I love sitting in it. I love sitting.
No, I don't speak to her. I don't know her regularly, and I just remember nice. All right.
Okay, fair. What I said while you were gathering yourself is one of my techniques I picked up is that when I ask you girls certain questions and I can see there's a little bit something in there, I say nothing and just let the moment sit, and you're going to talk.
It's a really good interview technique. It's a really good. You know what it is?
It works every time.
Can I just put a disclaimer before you keep going on this? Is that it feels really ridiculous to do it when it's based on some random experience from 10 years ago. Like, it feels just so long ago. And I think it can come across like you're saying that person is that now. I don't know who you are now. I honestly don't have a clue. There's my disclaimer. So if I say shit, I say shit.
Well, now that you got your disclaimer out of the way, let's start.
That's my disclaimer.
Okay, the next person is Louise Watts. I like Louise.
Boss bitch. I wouldn't say that me and Louise were close, but that girl knew who she was, knew what she was doing. I wish I could be as confident as her on a level.
Where is she?
I don't know. I don't speak to Louise, but didn't Alisha say she's got kids, she's happy, she's doing stuff? I honestly don't know.
When I was watching her eliminate, well, not her elimination. It wasn't her elimination. Mama walked out. I was like, that is some bold. That takes a lot of balls.
She was very confident. I can't remember how old. I think want to say that she was 25.
She was 25.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it was Asmarie and Louise that were 25. I turned 25. You know what day I turned 25? Sitting on bloody Kris Jenner's lap.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, it was that day you guys did the photo shoot. You're so funny. I love you. Yeah.
So we were the three oldest, and then losing Louise felt difficult because she was very strong. She knew she was, especially I liked that. Oh, who's in your life, babe?
Hey, Cookie, what's wrong, girl? It's okay. Rest. I don't hear her bark a lot, so I'm always like,
all up in it.
Girl, is this the apocalypse? What's going on? Is that tsunami coming? Is she warning me?
She agrees that Louise was a bad bitch. She just knew who she was, and I liked how she didn't. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I'm standing next to her, a few months younger than her. Like, I wasn't gonna speak out against Kelly Cutrone. It wasn't the game I was gonna play. Is that an issue in itself? But that wasn't the game I was gonna play. But I can totally understand why Louise did what she did. She should have done it.
Did you watch my oh my God, it's so many names in my head now. Did you watch my Asmarie live when she was like she was gonna quit that same day too?
How good is Asmarie's energy? This lady was just lulling me into I
want to be her boyfriend.
Yeah. And you know what's weird? She's one of the people, she's an example of someone who has the most relaxed energy with the strongest energy.
Isn't that crazy?
How did she do that?
I mean, but it plays into the whole androgynous idea of just, being two things at once, and it plays into the idea. She's a magical creature.
Yeah, I don't think she didn't get on with anyone, but me and Asmarie, especially being the oldest in the house, used to sit and have conversations. Even after the show, I went, where did I go? Did I see her in Atlanta? Because I don't.
You probably saw Asmarie in Atlanta, and Asmarie looks like she comes to Atlanta.
Yeah, she was performing. Where did I literally went out of my way to go meet her and see her, and I hung out with a friend of hers and blah blah blah. And that was obviously a really long time ago, so it's not like I want to be like, oh my God, that's the thing. But honestly, that girl's energy, it's like aspirations. Do you know what I mean? I want to be that calm and controlled.
I have a question for you about Louise. There were a lot of questions about this video that Kelly Cutrone did. You don't know about the video?
Of course I know about the video.
Have you spoken about the video?
I only know about the video in recent times. When it happened, I didn't see the video. It was only when I did my reactions in the last year that somebody put the link to the video.
Of where, like, it's Kelly Cutrone bullying Louise.
Kelly Cutrone with this young girls. The grain is so bad, like proper grainy as hell. But like this posse of girls behind her doing some like, oh, she doesn't know who she's messing with thing. I was actually horrified.
Were you really?
I just couldn't. Don't get me wrong, if Kelly Cutrone thinks that or whatever, but to actually like, I think it's a form of trolling, if I'm honest. Like, when you know you have a following, to then go out and say this person, blah, 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 I think it's a form of trolling. Maybe we didn't call it that back then, but I was seeing it now. I was like, damn. I'm glad she didn't say something about me, though.
Right. I want to be on Kelly Cutrone's good side. Because in other chats with other people, people speak so highly of her. Like she's like this mama bear. She's so nice and cool. I'm like, I want to be on her good side.
Okay, so one thing to clear it up is that although let me try and put my thoughts together. So, Top Model was an experience. people experience different amounts of trauma for different things on different situations, yada, 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 yada. I'll say that if we're going to pick a trauma situation, my trauma situation was Kelly Cutrone, because let's face it, I felt like it didn't matter what I say, and you guys didn't even get to see all of it, but like, I learned quite quickly, I say quickly, it clearly wasn't quick enough, but like within the first 5 eliminations, stop talking. My natural instinct, if you call my name and you bring me forward and you ask me a question, I'm going to give you a whole answer. Like I've realized it didn't work for me, because everything I said, she kind of turned against me. I can't remember what episode it was. I'm so sorry that I can't remember what episode it was.
You're fine.
But I'm wearing a blue denim dress.
Okay.
I remember the dress because the fashion is always the remembering point for me, of course, because it's my friend's dress, and I called it my freakum dress. They said they liked the dress, and I said, oh, this is my freakum dress. Immediate Kelly was like, what do you mean your freakum dress? And I was just like, oh, it's just the dress I feel good in around my gut. But, you know, she made me feel like, I don't know, like I was calling it like my whore. I don't know. She made me feel like, shut up, stop saying so much at elimination. Give short answers, simple. Don't, because I was like, oh, it's my freakum dress, gave him a spin, you know, like, hey. And the way she was like, what do you mean by that? And it kind of went into a realm of looking good for men. And it wasn't anything that was on my mind.
But you know what? You actually just helped me out a lot.
How did I do that?
No, because, you know, when you have this personality like ours, you're really not aware of how other people are really taking you in unless they say something about it. And I was just thinking in relation to me doing the reality TV show that's coming out on March 4th on WeTV. No, thank you. I'm trying to choose my words, but I ain't trying to get in trouble. All I'm gonna say is short answers. You know, short answers. Short, cute answers.
The longer you give is the more you can pick apart.
Yes.
I'll give you a whole story, spin, drop, lift it. And then
can you do the drop again for me?
Babe, I was giving a lot, and I realized quickly, shut the fuck up, Annelise. Shut up. Stop talking, because your mouth only gets you in trouble. And I just felt like every time I said something, she was just at me for something. And I'm sure that was just generally, and I think we all learn, the less you say, the better. But I definitely remember feeling, especially from Kelly, she was just, and I don't mean this in a bad way, but she was the worst thing about the experience. And I don't mean that, oh God, that sounds awful, isn't it?
No, I'm dramatic.
It sounds awful, but honestly, the experience was great. So
and if you just had to say one thing,
the greatness, it's not that bad. It really, really isn't. Yeah.
Yeah. What about Candace Smith, who I think got sent home too early?
Love Candace Bones, babe.
That bitch was cheeks and
love Candace. She's freaking awesome. She's very loyal as well. I have visited her several times in New York. This was the thing about, can we combine this with Ebonee so I can say it in one go?
Yeah.
So obviously Ebonee and Candace in New York, they were really good friends after the show. Really good friends. I mean, in terms of Candace would stay at her house and like really good friends. And the odd occasion that I went, because I went to New York quite a bit in terms of somebody who doesn't live there. I'd meet up with Candace and Ebonee, like, hey, what's going on? Da, da, da. I hung out with Ebonee in her house maybe it was somebody else's house, but her friends in a house. You know, but you know what I mean? You're not like at a bar. Like, it was intimate. And, you know, these kind of things. Candace still speaks to her, all the rest of it. But Ebonee, I mean, how fucking fabulous is Ebonee?
I see Ebonee everywhere.
I am so happy, and I think Alisha said the same thing. I unbelievably am so happy about how well...
I'm so sorry. Why is it every time I do lives, people are knocking on my goddamn door?
Who's knocking on your door?
I don't know. Can I go see who it is right there?
Go see who it is.
I'm so sorry.
Can I
don't know who's... I wasn't expecting any guests.
It's a package. What'd you get? Oh, that's upsetting.
Thank you. Oh my God! See, this is what happens when you're a nice person. That was my next door neighbor, who's always so kind. And she said that, because we have our groceries delivered over here. So she said her and her mother were allergic to shrimp. However, she knows that I like it, and she just gave me some shrimp.
Oh, shrimp delivery?
Mm-hmm.
Not bad.
Yeah.
What happens in Atlanta?
I'm actually glad I opened the door now, because that's what I'm going to eat after we get off this.
Perfect.
Okay, I'm so sorry. So you and Ebonee hanging out in New York City.
And basically, I legit just had to burp. I'm so sorry. Basically, Candice messaged me one time when I was going to go back to New York to say, hey, like, let's meet up, yada, yada, and said, oh, she doesn't speak to Ebonee anymore. Ebonee doesn't answer the phone to her. Ebonee basically just ghosted the girl. And I'm not offended that Ebonee ghosted me because I don't think we were that close. I'm not offended. But if I was Candice or Alisha...
Maybe she just wanted, maybe she was instructed and or she just wanted to distance herself from time. I mean, there's a way you go about doing it, but...
It's freaking 10 years later. Come on. Oh, am I getting tipsy? I shouldn't have been drinking.
Well, you know,
wine.
what I'm learning from doing these chats is that the top model stigma is a real thing out there in the industry.
I agree.
And for someone who wants to model, if you're able to overcome that and achieve a level, I can see how you're like, I don't even want to threaten anything to what I've got now.
I agree. My issue is that she, and obviously I'm sure she's still growing and developing as a model and doing all kinds of things. But you know what? Say a WhatsApp message to somebody that was important to you in a really crazy situation is not ridiculous. I understand. I get it. Nobody wants to use the photos from ANTM. I get it. But actually having a private conversation with the girls that kind of helped you through that situation, I think is crazy. I think it's just ridiculous. I don't know. I personally, I just think it's a bit uncalled for. And yeah, fair enough. Maybe I'm talking about this as somebody who hasn't done a TED Talk and isn't on flipping, I don't know, Calvin Klein campaigns. Mm-hmm. But I honestly don't want to live my life like that. And I feel like regardless whether I was on those things, like, what am I going to just stop messaging Sophie? Or like, I don't know. I just wouldn't. There's certain people, I'm digging myself in a hole. Let me stop talking.
I mean, I think it just boils down to there's a certain way you go about doing things when you're talking about love, relationship, friends, people you've invested some sort of energy in and who have invested energy in you. It's just the way you go about doing it.
You know, top model at ANTM, Tyra Banks, I get it. Leave it over that way. But messaging Alisha and saying, how are you, babe? Miss you. How's that affecting your career? I don't understand. I don't know.
Or maybe she has new friends.
She does, clearly. Clearly.
Maybe she has new friends.
But it's easy for me to say that on this side of the fence, and I do understand that.
Maybe she doesn't see you guys on her level. I'm just throwing all.
No, I had to unfollow her because I was very active with her situation. And then when I couldn't get a hold of her, when Candice told me she couldn't get a hold of her, I obviously tried. I couldn't get a hold of her. I don't want to. And I hope that doesn't sound like a jealousy thing. I'm so glad that she's doing so well. but like it was just like a her thing in my timeline, and somebody's not even going to respond to my DMs, or I'm in your city and I thought we were friends and I can't meet you. Why am I going to sit and watch you on Instagram?
Mm-hmm. That makes sense. That's fair.
That's kind of how I felt about it. But honestly, I wish her the best of luck. She's doing a whole bunch of shit. Go do it, babe. Go do it.
So the next person up in our list is Ashley Brown, who was like personally one of like my personal favorites. She is so funny.
I've been speaking to Ashley recently. Love Ashley. Freaking fabulous. She is so gritty, but yet charismatic. Like it's just raw shit that comes out of her mouth. You can't refine her. This is what it is. Love her. Love Ashley.
We already did Asmarie. Now we're gonna do Kyler.
Oh, Kyle. I don't know her very well, but I think she's freaking stunning. There was a picture that I thought she looked like Katy Perry and stuff. She's stunning. I don't know her very well. I think her family's gorgeous. Oh, gorge. Like I'd buy anything the family was selling. Like.
Simone, who should have went home. I'm sorry, and no hate towards Simone, but she should have went home early. Like I would have sent her home before I sent Candace home.
But Simone got quite lucky with a lot of her shots, which I think upped the ante for her, if that makes sense. Simone, I would actually...
Did you just say she got quite lucky? Yes, ma'am. Get him, Alisha. I mean, not Alisha.
The only reason I said that is because she doesn't... A lot of the girls, especially the British girls, we'd all modelled before, so we knew what we were doing. Don't get me wrong. That's not... I know there was times that we all did shit or whatever, but we knew what we... Simone literally came fresh off the modelling boat, like, had no clue how to take a photo. Whereas the British girls, so I feel like she got lucky. That trampoline, she got lucky. The trampoline one, and when she was Michelle Obama, lucky. It's a trampoline. You got lucky. She looked great. Good. She looked fabulous. Luck. And then what was the other one that she... Oh, I do think she looked really good in maple syrup as well.
But all of y'all looked really good in maple syrup. I feel like they had to choose a bad picture of Ashley, like, you know, to make it make sense. But I feel like all of y'all looked amazing. That's one of my favorite all-time top model shoots because it just looks so good. That
photo in the promo. It's one of my faves too, to be fair.
Yeah, it's one of my faves. And I'm still trying to figure out how the hell did Asmarie bend her arms back like that?
I watched Asmarie. She just made it work. There was nothing stiff about it. It was very fluid. It didn't... Maybe you think the photo looks like she did something extra. It just might have been at the full extension, but she was moving for sure. As was moving. Everybody, that shoot is one of my favorites. You know what I'm really proud of about that shot? I don't know. I am not.
I could just listen to you talk forever. How much time do we have with you?
I mean, you've got all the time in the world. I don't know how long the chat's going to have it. It's like an hour. And we
I can just listen to you talk all the time.
The thing about the maple syrup shot, for me, was that it's one of my favourites. And we're going to try and work out which exactly the favourite is. I was proud of it because I felt like it was a really hot shot without being sexual. And I felt like it was very different to a lot of the other shots, regardless of what place they wanted to put it. You know, I do the videos where I put it in the order I think it should be.
Let them know.
Yeah. I'm like, no, let me fix this order for you and I'll like put it in the right order. But the maple syrup shot for me, I really enjoyed because I just felt like I stood out. Everyone was going for it was quite sexy, wasn't it? I'm not the sexiest of models. Like, I'm just not. If you tell me to be sexy, I'll be like, but I don't know. I'm not very good at it on purpose. And I felt like the animalistics thing really worked for me in that photo.
Good. Catherine Supreme.
Oh, I love Catherine. So obviously I did a live with Catherine recently, and I wasn't, okay, so I've been a little bit shy. I've been shy because, to be fair, reaching out to girls.
Shy?
That's me shy. I haven't, reaching out to these girls and doing like Insta lives is not really my go-to. I feel like I don't want to reach out to girls that I haven't spoken to in a while and be like, hey, do you want to do a live? I just feel it's a little bit inauthentic, and I don't know, it doesn't really feel right. Don't get me wrong, it feels like it could be a great thing for my channel or whatever, but I'm just not about to be like, hey, I haven't spoken to you in 10 years. Do you want to do a live with me? Do you know what I mean? And Catherine was so lovely in the sense that she commented on something, and that's on a post of mine or something like that. And I was like, oh my God, it's Catherine. And so I was like, let me just follow up with her, asked her how she was, and I saw on Facebook she has a baby, and I said, I kind of gave her the option. I said, listen, say no, but if you want to do a live, I'm totally down for it. And she was like, yeah, of course. Like, do you know what I mean? And it was so nice to kind of speak to her. She's a sweetheart. There's nothing bad to say about her. What would you say bad about Catherine?
Oh, no, nothing. You can't say
There's not even any shade you could give to her. Like,
if you do, you're going to hell.
She didn't get enough airtime on Top Model at all. They made her look like she wasn't that funny, but like my memories are giggles, full-on giggles from this girl. Yeah, she was everything you saw and a whole lot more, basically.
You already touched on Ebonee. Anything you want to add to Alisha White? The people who say who was the pre-select winner for Cycle 18.
Yeah. Alisha, I think we had tension from day one. I've spoken to Alisha recently. After your chat with her, I felt weird that I hadn't spoken to her, to be fair, especially because she mentioned in your chat that I maybe said something to her that made me feel uncomfortable. So I reached out to her. She told me what I said, and I was like, oh my God. It was just young mouth, you know, when you just chat shit for no reason. And I was like, I apologize, like if I made you feel some type of way. But I do think that me and Alisha did have, I want to,
rivalry?
I think there was maybe a tension, because at the end of the day, when you've got, I don't know, honestly, I personally didn't feel like I was competing with Alisha. And that's not because Alicia's not competition, for God's sakes. Look at her. Look at her. I just felt like, you know what made us competition?
What?
The fact that we were British girls, 7 British girls, and the 2 British black girls, they want to put them in the same damn bubble. And me and Alisha are unbelievable. We're so opposite. We're so opposite. Alisha is cool. Alisha, and I maybe this is, I'll say what Alisha said that offended her. I said at some point in a car or something, I think she said to me that she mentioned that she was from the hood or whatever, and I said, yeah, she's from the ghetto. And I think she got offended by that, but I don't think I meant it as like, oh my God, you're from the ghetto. It's not even like I live in a posh part of London. I live in Hackney. It's not a posh part of London. But I think I was maybe reinforcing what she was saying, because even on the show, you see her say, I'm from the hood, what you'd call the hood. And I've never been that kind of black girl from London. Like, those girls make fun of me, like, at that time. Do you know what I mean?
I can relate.
I don't know. I was just not part of that cool London thing. And I think by the nature of the show being, I'm gonna eliminate Jasmine without being rude, but just because she left obviously first season, but then it's just, in terms of British girls, you're dealing with Alisha and me.
Right.
And I think it's really interesting that I don't think an American population has seen a variety of black people from the UK. So they only want to put you in one basket. And for me and Alisha, we're so opposite. We are so opposite. And I respect Alisha 50 million times. I don't think 100% I understood her back then, but I promise you I respected her. Mm-hmm. She's just from, what's the word without making it sound like you're... She said it. She said it. I'm going to use her words. I'm from what you'd call the hood. Teenage pregnancies, yeah. And I'm not saying I'm not from an area that does that, but that's not... It's not a way that I would reflect to say me. I would say, I'm the anomaly. I do this, and I don't know. I would just get...
Do you believe she was a pre-select to win?
Yeah, I don't think she made that up. Who's making that up? Why would she make that up? That's crazy.
And so looking back on your time in filming for Cycle 18 with her, are there any indications of that being true? Where you could be like, ooh, I can see where...
Honestly, the whole thing felt like a fucking mess.
Gotcha.
I used to have nightmares. The worst nightmares I've had in my life are in that house. Oh, wow. You know, you get sleep apnea. Is that what you call it? Where you can't wake up. Where you can't. Worst of my life in that house. I used to get up because I'd be so scared. I say scared, but you know, you don't want to fall asleep in the same place you just got sleep apnea because that scared the fuck out of you. Scary, I'd get up and go sleep outside. Like, I went and did that on several occasions. I'd have nightmares, but I do think it's my tendency though to obsess about what I'm doing in the day. And I used to have nightmares about conspiracies and blah blah blah. Like, I didn't have a peaceful sleep once in that place. Everything felt like it was a task. Everything felt like they were gonna sneak and wake me up and I had to be this. I was never rested. You know, when you just I was like, the whole time.
They're correcting me. It's not sleep apnea. It's sleep paralysis.
Sleep paralysis. I hate that. And it's only rare. I don't know if it's a combination of maybe something you eat or whatever it is, or the thoughts in your brain. But I had it so often, like too many times together on that show. And I've never suffered with that in my life. Like, it was, and that's what I mean. I think when I make reference to the fact that it was traumatic, I want to say that. I think when you talk to Alisha or Gina, for example, there's a whole next level of trauma. Like, it's over there.
Yeah, it's over there.
My trauma was just trying to live being on a reality show. Which...
That makes sense.
Ew. Do you know how weird it was when you weren't on it and you wanted to ask somebody to go to the toilet?
That's weird.
You'd look for them. Like, seriously, it was crazy. There was a period of time where it was insane after you flew back. And I know Sophie talked about that. I could only imagine it would be worse after you won, after there was like some big explosion about you. And then... No, it was weird. And remember, I don't have much of an experience in terms of like being eliminated earlier. Like, to me, it was the end of the show when I was going home, kind of thing.
Right. It was the end. You know what? Now that I think about it, you haven't really seen too many, unless you guys correct me if I'm wrong, but other than like Big Brother, The Bachelor, you really don't see too much of reality shows nowadays where normal people get sequestered and sent away anymore. It's usually like celebrity people or like a big show like Big Brother or The Bachelor. There may be some other ones out there, but I can't think of any right now.
But if you think about it, we're 12, 15 years in. Like, it's so far in the process. And Sophie said this right. I'm sorry, I'm referring to your previous.
No, you're fine.
But like, what we did 10 years ago, and I'm sure you've had that conversation with girls who were like 10 million cycles before us, but it still felt new. Model agencies were confused. There
didn't know what to
do. Any such thing as an influencer agency. When I did Britain's Next, when I did America's, I think I just started Instagram. Like, Instagram wasn't even a thing. It was
As
very
Marie
much,
told us.
yeah, it was very much at the forefront.
Mm-hmm.
And so we didn't really have a strategy. Like, what strategy can you have for something that doesn't exist, if that makes sense?
Doesn't exist? No.
But I'm going to say it again, I still consider it a highlight. Too many girls are throwing a lot of negativity, and I respect you if your experience was negative, but I don't know. Should I feel weird about being
it's your
about
experience.
the show? It makes me feel weird.
It shouldn't. It was your experience.
It makes me feel weird because it's almost like the trend. The trend is everybody hating it and and I'm saying, hey, I had a great time.
And I mean, I feel like the sensible people out there should, and probably will respect it. Everyone has different experiences, you know? Everyone has different experiences.
I had a great time. You know, when you got a question, did I have a great time? No, I think I had a great time.
Laura.
Oh, I love Laura. She cray-cray. She reminds me of my friend Maddie that was on Britain's Next Top Model. Actually, they have the same kind of energy. Zagalicious. They ain't here. They don't know. Yeah. Fabulous. Love Laura. Did an Instagram live with her. Love her energy. She's very sophisticated these days.
Is she now? No.
Babe, she had a fringe. She had a hole. She had a dress on. Yeah. Very vintage. Very vintage.
Pulled up, as we say over here.
Yes.
Pulled up.
Snatched. Yes, exactly.
And then last but not least, Sophie.
What am I supposed to say about Sophie?
I mean, I don't know.
Sophie feels like a friend of mine. Sophie's just Sophie. So, obviously, I knew Sophie from Britain's Next Top Model. Sophie was a massive bitch on Britain's Next Top Model. Big old bitch. I'm sure she'd say that too. So I hope I'm not like, bitch. Full on bitch. But she was one of the first people I saw when I got off the plane, arrived in LA, and was like a familiar face. Oh my God. Sophie, 10 years later, love her. She is, we're quite similar. Would you agree? You follow Sophie, right?
You and Sophie? Similar in what way?
In the way that we're quite positive, bubbly.
Oh, yes.
There's an energy about Sophie that is positive. She wants to spread light, blah, blah, blah. It's not like she's on Instagram giving you like, she gives you, I love Sophie. Sophie's, I feel like I know Sophie. Out of all of the girls, Sophie's the one that I'd say I know the most.
Okay. Well, you've just completed ANTM roll call for Cycle 18.
We're only an hour and 20 minutes.
Well, you know, some of my questions I had, you kind of already answered them. So
okay, let me try and keep it short. I'm so
no, you're fine. Excuse me if I pause a little bit. I'm just reading just to make sure I'm not redundant. So, Vanity_Prime wants to know, hey, Annalise, how often does judging happen? Is it once a week or every couple of days? Same question with challenges.
Every 4 days. You're on a 4-day cycle, which is very confusing to your body clock. So you never know what actual day of the week it is. So generally, I think they mixed it up, but it tended to be challenge, photo shoot, some kind of extra filming, and then you'd have elimination. And that just rotated round and round. So you'd never have a clue whether it was a Monday or a Tuesday or where you were in life. Very confusing, very stressful.
Did you notice or pick up on Alisha's degradation during did I say that right? Degradation. Yes, I did. Degradation, like her slowly dying. Did you pick up on that?
Oh, I think we were all aware of people's situations. Alisha, for me, had one of the, I say worst, maybe that's not the way to put it, but I think she had one of the hardest situations because going from low to high to low to high to low, too much. Do you notice how I got in there, babe? I was just mediocre throughout, just slivered. So
yeah,
it wasn't that stressful. I can only imagine feeling like, oh my God, I'm winning. Oh no, I'm shit. Oh, we felt it. Everyone felt it.
Gotcha. If Louise didn't quit, and if Alisha didn't quit, who do you think the final three would have been?
That's an interesting one. It makes me think, are there situations between when they left, if they would have left? What I mean by that is, would Toronto have pissed off Louise? Would castings in Hong Kong pissed off Alisha? Would... I'm sorry if it's a wishy-washy answer, but I said this, and I've said this a lot on my YouTube channel. Every girl from episode 1 could be a fucking superstar. Gotcha. Model-wise. Every girl. We have everybody there has the potential. We all take a good photo. That's what put us there. And I actually don't think there's much difference in between. It kind of depends a lot on subjectiveness, which is like, what is that even?
What does that even mean, really? Yeah, okay. Fair. What would you say to Kelly Cutrone if you were standing in front of her in 2021? This is from Sex O Machine. You know how I always ask the girls if they're standing in front of Tyra, but in your case, if you were standing in front of Kelly Cutrone, what would you say?
Oh my God, because I was ready for the Tyra answer. I think I would just ask... No, fair enough. I would just ask her, like, what was it? What was your problem with me? I would like to have it confirmed, I think. Does that make me sound petty? It's like 10 years later. No. I think she is, from what I remember, I think she is a lot of a better woman. I think everybody else who has spoken about Kelly Cutrone has said how loving she is and blah, blah, blah. I think my experience is just tainted from what I got in quite a stressful situation. So I'm not denying that she's a nice person. It's not even like I want to deny that. I just would like to know exactly what it was. Because like I said, I think that it's because maybe I was too happy or I just looked a bit fake sometimes. But it'd be nice to have that confirmed.
Alexander Palm wants to know, what was all the tension about during the final runway when the eliminated girls came back?
Oh, I haven't really watched that episode, but I will say that it felt like, especially Alisha, and I'm not sure if that, stop saying stuff, but I felt like she came with, obviously, being rejuvenated after leaving the show. Even if it was just a night, I'm sure it wasn't even that long. Came back and it felt like her and Ebonee, it's not even like I can remember anyone else. Her and Ebonee, it felt like they both came with this, we could have won this energy, bitches. Like, you know, and I'm sure that's not what they said, just to clarify, but it just felt like the energy was like, we could have done this, you know. I'm sure a good night's sleep of not being in the competition would do that to you. Or even if you felt that way, I felt that expressing it, and maybe they didn't express it. So notice how I keep on backtracking is because you've got to remember this shit was a really long time ago.
No, it's fine.
Where it's a long time ago, so it's not like I want to state facts. But the energy, which I would always say, is that I felt like the energy for y'all. I could have done this, like I could have won this, like, hey, I left because it was my, like, you know, just came with that, which isn't very encouraging, is it?
Oh.
And I think that it irritated me because, don't get me wrong, I'm a flipping underdog out here. Nobody expected me to do great on America's Next. That's fine, I get that. I'm actually 100% okay with that. I know who I am and I'm actually really happy with who I am. I think Alisha, if you're going to pick models out here, could definitely do better than I could do. Do you know what I mean? But I just didn't appreciate that energy. It felt like, well, did they come back when I was still in it? I think I'd already been eliminated, but I still felt it was a little bit disrespectful. Like, oh, I got this. They're like, oh, well, now you got it when you ain't in the competition no more. And of course, that was your choice to learn. But that's what my energy felt at the time.
Got it. Stunning. Stunning.
Wine.
So Mark Jennings posed a good question, and I loved how he worded this. So I'm going to ask you. Given that we now know production chose the best shots each week, ooh, I almost spilled a good behind the story for y'all, but I would get in so much trouble. Okay. Okay. Since I brought it up, I'm gonna give y'all just a little bit. So y'all know how you know what? I'm gonna just blame it on Nigel. So Nigel did confirm in his thing that
it's not the best photos.
The best shots were not always chosen. They were not always chosen. But anyways, going back to Mark Jennings, it's about him. He said, on which shoot do you think there's a big difference, the biggest difference between the shot we saw and your actual best photo?
Help me out. I'm going to my laptop to look. I will say that I think I personally did a lot better on practically every shoot than the photo that was picked. The biggest difference, can you help me out? Where would you say maybe the biggest difference was? The biggest difference. Because remember, a constant theme for us, being the girls on the show, watching blah, 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 it's almost like you would be sitting there and you would see the flash moment. You would know that shot.
Right.
You just know.
You know it's good.
And don't get me wrong, it's the same thing where you take a photo on your phone and you think, oh, I felt good there. And then you look at it and it's not that great or blah, blah, blah. But honestly, as I said, every single girl there knows how to take a banging shot. To get a bad photo, first of all, any model that you have on a photo shoot and you take 100 photos, 100 photos isn't even a lot. It sounds like a lot, but it's not actually a lot of photos to take on a shoot at all. There's going to be horrific ones. That's just
right.
My biggest gripe was the fact that we weren't allowed to see them. I wish that we could see, because there's never been a time. I'm a flipping working model. I've worked for flipping over half my life as a model.
Let them know.
And there is no way that I'd be on a shoot, regardless of what. I don't even want it to be like it was a pushy thing. Oh my God, let me see the screen. No, a photographer invite me to see the screen, see what's going on, give you a perspective of what the camera's seeing. You can't work it unless you know what's going on. Do you know what I mean?
No, I get exactly what you mean.
They never did that. Like that, it's almost like it's the easy way to have a failing shot. Because you know what would happen? Maybe you go out in front of a screen, even here. So right now, I was shooting TikToks. That's why I'm facing here. You go out, you step in front of it, you take your photo and you realize you're not center. And then you realize, center's a little bit further over. Or I need to fill this space, or the space is looking empty. You just need to know. You
need to be aware of what the framing of the shot is.
And that's not an alien thing if you're modeling. That's not something that would be hidden from you, which is what the show did to you. It made you, you're literally blind. You've got no clue, which is you're obviously could potentially get a bad shot.
You just better hope and pray and just trust that Mr. J. Manuel is directing you the right way.
But even when he was, it doesn't mean you're going to get the right shot, does it? I don't blame Jay.
No, I don't blame Jay.
I don't. I literally don't blame Jay. The times
was so perfectly placed.
It lined up. When he said I did well, I did.
No, I'm talking about you sipping that wine glass and saying you don't blame Jay.
Always. That's the battery on 20%. Sorry.
Oh, no, you're fine. I'm almost done, actually. I'm actually almost done.
Can I get more wine?
Yeah, go get it. Go get it. What are you drinking? I can sing you a song.
No, I'm back.
Oh. Y'all know I was going to hit it with my song. Okay, so.
All right, try and quick fire me questions because.
Okay, here we go. Stephanie wants to know, Chic Masterpiece, Annalise, do you have any opera panel judge experience stories? Any behind-the-scenes drama not showed on the air?
Nothing that I can remember. Is that a shit question? I'm so sorry.
I'm so sorry, no, but that's the answer.
But nothing that I can't remember. The main thing, and I'm sure Sophie said this as well, was that the room that you're kept in before, like while they're deliberating, is literally a shoebox. It's literally a shoebox.
Damn.
And you've got to take the energy that was given to you. And remember, obviously, elimination is a lot longer than it looks on TV. So when you're standing there, yeah, I'd say, obviously it varied depending on how many girls there were, but at least a good 3-4 minutes. So then you've got to take the 3-4 minutes and go sit in a shoebox. It's not healthy.
No, it's not healthy.
So you've got these 14 girls all with their information in the shoebox. It's not a healthy place. No, never good.
Okay. Holiday 197, did you sense any tension between the production team, Tyra Banks, Mr. J, or the judges?
It felt weird, but I didn't realize, only watching Mr. J's chat with you and his like whatevers and Sophie's, did I realize what was going on. But it felt weird, but it only felt weird because this was our first time experience in America, if that makes sense.
Right.
I wasn't sure if that was just how people acted, but no, there was tension. I feel like I'm a low-key empath. I feel shit. I swear to God, oh no, I feel shit, and whether I can pinpoint it and say what it is, but it felt off. I just didn't have a clue why it was off. It's 10 years later, and only did I find out.
And you found out why.
Oh, yeah, I didn't have a clue.
Found out why.
Didn't have a clue.
Soren Kemp wants to know, she's mentioned before in her own videos that she felt as though Sophie was favored throughout the season and got called earlier than she should have most weeks. Does she think Sophie was a pre-select or pre-approved winner? Oh, well, simple. There we go.
Yes. Don't get me wrong. Sophie's amazing, a great talent and all the rest of it. But I do think her brand aligned with what they wanted. So I think they favored her. And I would say the same thing on Britain's Next Top Model as well.
Oh. So then Alex Blue, she mentioned in her vlog that she and Alisha had some exchange of words at the final runway. What were they?
Everyone brings this up to me. And I'm not going to lie to you. I don't want to try and lie. I think I said something about words of jealousy or like something. What did I say? Somebody's going to say it right down there in the comments. And what I was referring to was that it felt like Ebonee and Alisha were bitter. The same thing that I said before when they came with this, I could have won this energy. I felt like it was just a bit bitter. I don't know. Maybe I'm older and now I'm looking at it in this way that, I don't know, if somebody's winning a competition that you've now not in, why would you come with
that energy? I get it. That makes sense.
But maybe we wouldn't have done that unless we were older. I don't know. I just like send your best wishes and move on. Like,
So, or Johnny Jazz wants to know, excuse me, what is it like being Black in the UK? And I'm actually very interested in this answer. They're saying, how are Black women and Black models treated there? So, you know what? And I've always thought about this because I only think about this during Black History Month. And I'm like, Black History Month. Black History Month is really Black. This is really African American History Month. And I've always
because this is not our History Month. Our History Month is a different time, no? Am I confused?
I don't know these things. And so I'll always randomly ask someone, do Black people in the UK have Black History Month? Like, do they have a civil rights movement? Like, what do they do over there?
I don't want to say when it is, but I don't think it's the same time as America. What's it like being famous? It's such an open question. It's like, what is the meaning of life? I can only speak from my own experience. Obviously, there are plenty of multicultural Black people here. That's all I want to say. But the way I was raised was never to be like looking or thinking that maybe I didn't get something because of my race. I will always assume that it must be something else. I'm not really looking for it, if I'm honest. I think that if you went around the UK, every interaction you had looking for an encounter of racism or even just a microaggression, you'd find it far too often. And I do personally think that it might be quite hard. But I also want to say that I've lived here my whole life and I have a really great upbringing. Yes, racism happens. In terms of modeling, there's not many overt things that I have. There is one experience where I was supposed to do a hair tutorial video. They wanted to straighten my hair and then have it like fall down in some cascade. And I was like, well, my hair don't fall. After the straightening, they wanted to curl it. And it's like, well, I arrived with it curly, so why would you straighten it to cut? And they didn't quite understand that. And honestly, maybe I didn't handle it well. I actually left. To me personally, I left. But this is the point. I've been modeling for a very long time. I'm 34 years old. I've been modeling since I was like 12 years old. At this stage, there is not many situations that I can put myself in that I can't get out of, or that I genuinely feel uncomfortable in, if I'm honest. Maybe I'm a little bit more open, I say open, it actually might be more closed. And what I mean by that is maybe I see less of what somebody might be saying or whatever the microaggression or is. I don't know. Do you not think that life is difficult?
Well, I think because I can relate to that because my mom calls me green all the time, and I think it just harkens back to what I said earlier. A lot of times we view people according to how we view ourselves. So if you're not a person who does that type of behavior or doesn't have that type of feeling or whatever, that's not something you're going to expect to see in anyone else. So like when things happen, your brain doesn't use that as that's the reason why that happened. It'd be like, oh, well, she must have just been upset that day. Like it's not going to be other stuff. It's going to be what you on the inside of yourself view of yourself first.
Yeah, I think I'm really lucky almost by being a model because I can't identify why somebody might not book me because it could be for my race, but it could be for my big forehead or my eyes are too close together or my lips do this or I don't know. There's so many reasons that it could be. You don't find out why it isn't that you don't get booked. But I've learned that it's just a form of, I've got really thick skin. Like, it would take a lot to really hurt me, like to really say, don't get me wrong, I'm a human. If a bad comment here and there, you're like, but it's not going to devastate me. Honestly, I feel, especially in my 30s, the strongest I've ever felt, honestly.
That is so, and I'm pretty sure you'll say you're just happy. You're happy, right?
I mean, I could be happier out of lockdown, but generally, I'm on it. If we're going to talk about who I am, happy. Got this. I know who I am. Take it, leave it. If you want it, have it. If you don't.
And I think, and this is, you and I talking because, this is not a regular interview because you've dissected this stuff and talked and looked and whatever. I think, I'm not no doctor, I'm just a nosy bitch that's just been doing this for a while now, and I just have collected a lot of data. I think a lot of the girls who have bad experiences with Top Model are the girls who walked in with unresolved issues that, Top Model in some type of way triggered it. Like, You said earlier, you, Sophie, Alisha were in the same competition, interacting with the same people underneath the same, and you guys all have different takes on it. And I feel like if I was you, I probably would have the same take. Like, I mean, yeah, I couldn't sleep, but it was fun. Like, I had a good time. It's amazing. And I just think it speaks to who you are as a person. Yeah, and what type of emotional baggage, lack thereof, or more are you toting around?
Yeah. You know, Alisha is a special situation because at the end of the day, if you really think about it, Oliver, there is technically, I'm just going to say it blankly, but there's no other girl that went through a top model process and within months was getting recruited to another one.
Mm-mm. No.
And being so young.
Mm-hmm.
So it was so, I don't know, it was so telling, your chat with Alisha, because I was like, you know what, I wish I saw it from that angle. But honestly, she was a baby and she went from one experience to the other. And I was a lot older than her and had space between them. And I still feel like I struggled.
It wasn't she the runner-up?
Huh?
Wasn't she the runner-up for her cycle of?
She came second.
She came second.
This is something you need to know as well. If you actually look at the traumatization, of course I'd have the less trauma. How do I put it? When you talk about Sophie, Ashley, Alisha, in fact, all of the girls, if I've got it right in my head, sorry, I just had to think about it, all came top 4.
Yeah, I'm
the only one.
I think you were the only one who wasn't like a top 4 placement.
I feel like that speaks volumes. The competition got harder. It got more intense. It got more traumatic the later you were in the competition. I feel like, and I left Britain's Next Top Model, which is quite rare, happy. They basically told me what it was. I think the week before they said that my photos weren't matching my personality and that I should bring my personality down. And I was like, even if I tried 50 million%,
it's not going to work.
My personality down. When I got eliminated from Britain's Next Top Model, which is like 6th or 7th, I actually get really confused as to when it was. I'm sure. Yeah, thank you. Somebody knows. 7th. I was at peace. There was no bitterness. I was ready to go. Oh, okay. If you don't think they matched that, then I know that I'm matching it and it is what it is. And blah. A lot of people leave these shows bitter.
Yeah.
And I think my saving grace in that what even helped me is that I left not bitter. I was so ready to go. I was so ready to leave Britain's Next Top Model. So to get the option of America's Next Top Model, maybe a year and a half later, maybe a year or 2 years later, I was like, cool, I'm going to do this differently. I haven't got any hard feelings to it. Honestly, it's hard to get eliminated from a show and not have hard feelings. And I'm so grateful from both these experiences on reality shows. It was my time.
Did Top Model hurt your career in any way?
No, it helped my career.
It helped.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not out here. I personally feel really depth in where I am, really successful. I think it's hard when you do influencer stuff and you've got this access to social media, if you're talking Instagram, TikTok, blah, blah. And there's so many people doing so much stuff. And I think it's really hard you line yourself up by it. Honestly, I consider myself to be successful.
You are?
Yeah. And I don't think that I didn't utilize the show. I think that I used it as a springboard to do what I could do from. And like I said, it was a springboard. It's happy. It's a highlight. Honestly, I wouldn't be where I am if it wasn't for the show. And that's regardless of whether the show directly gave you promo or whether it's about your mentality and how you feel about yourself.
Annalise, I relate and concur with all of that. And I think it's about having inner peace, knowing why you're doing something, and being able to pluck out something from it that can take you on to the next opportunity. Listen, I'm pretty sure when I'm an old queen, they'll do a documentary on my young life, and y'all will see some of the things like I just had to do, and it was horrible stuff. But I was able to find one thing that I can use that'll get me to get me to the next thing. So, I've heard you often say throughout this chat, should I be saying, whatever? But it's like, no, we've all had different experiences based off our own past experiences and what our priorities are in life. Like, some people don't prioritize happiness. I got to be happy. Happiness is important to me.
Oi, Oliver, I'm going to share something with you. And it's going to sound bougie as hell, but I feel like you might understand me. I want to work this amount for this much return.
Uh-huh.
This is something that I've lived by since a teenager. And when I mean that, I kind of almost want to just tell people in case they think that I'm like, oh my God, I'm just out here getting loads of money. No. I, for example, was working at Body Shop. You've got Body Shop there. For 4 hours and was getting like 50 quid. And I was like, okay, 50, 60 quid. And I was like, oh my God, that's not enough. I then realized that I should teach dance where I was working for the same amount of time and getting this amount of money. And I was like, oh no, we got to get this. We got to make this work. Voiceovers, you work this amount of time for that amount of money. And I don't even mean that to say it to brag, which is kind of what I want to say to people. I'm not out here like, oh my God, I earn so much money. That's not what it is. I think it's just an important note to share because a lot of people think that you need to work so hard to get that much money. And it doesn't actually equate that way. There's a smartness to it, and I'm not here to give life stories, but all I can say is that you need to work out a way, this much, that much.
Listen, I had the pleasure of talking to one of my bosses. I think he was my WeTV boss or my WoW boss. Whatever. He's one of my bosses. He ain't set not one foot on set. He didn't hold a camera. What happened?
Sorry, that was 10% on the phone.
Okay, we're gonna wrap up. But one of my bosses, he hasn't set foot on set. He hasn't held the camera. He hasn't done a green screen. He's just a boss who was just asking me certain questions. I got the phone, and I said, I want to be him. I want to be him because I know his check is quadrillion times mine, and I'm the one getting up, going to set every day, and he's just looking over it, signing off, and going back to bed.
It's just efficiency. It's just efficiency. It's an
being
equation.
Efficient.
And just think about it. I think even knowing the fact that there's an equation will help your life.
Oh, we can go deep in this because everything.
I'm so glad to speak to you. Honestly,
no, everything you're saying, I agree with. Like, everything you're saying are things that I think, and that's why I approach certain opportunities a certain way because, yes. I feel like Spider-Man. You know that Spider-Man picture?
Yeah, exactly. Are there more questions? Are there more ANTM questions, or can I just call you after?
No, that was it. I didn't want to really bog you down with a bunch of questions because you have your own channel. You talk about this trash, a bunch of trash. Yes, trash, a bunch of times over and over and over. I was going to say. Yeah, you've been saying the same thing.
I don't feel like I have that much to add.
I just love you. You're so amazing. I'm not doing badges today, guys. I'm sorry. That's why I didn't put it down in the thingy because.
No, you've got to ask me what
Oh, what would you say to Tyra? I forgot.
Thank you.
I forgot.
Me, bitch. Hello.
Okay. If you were standing in front of Tyra Banks in 2021, guys, because I don't know if I should. Okay, I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna stop doing that. I got confirmation from a reliable source that Mother checks us out every now and then. Hi, Tyra. Send me some smile screen.
To be fair, out of all the girls that are talking about ANTM, I should be her fucking favorite on a level.
You should.
I ain't got nothing bad to say.
You should.
And that follows up the question. What I would say to her, oh God, I hope this doesn't make me sound like a sap, but honestly, thank you. Thank you for doing what you did. Oh my God, I wouldn't have got a chance to do it. I wouldn't have been so excited if you didn't do what you did. Do your path, do you, but thank you. I enjoyed it.
Because what, guys, and I've told them this in so many chats, everyone's experience is different. Everyone views different things,
Can I ask you, do most of your followers feel like everyone, I don't know, how do you feel? 50% positive or negative? Positive, negative, which one's higher?
Oh, for the most part, my followers tear Tyra to pieces.
And there's many a reason to tear her apart. There's many a reason.
I mean, and that's why, like, I feel like with me holding the mic in this situation, I just try to always stress. And that's why I'm happy when girls come on with different experiences about different people and whatnot. Although we have not gotten a bad comment about Miss J yet. But
Miss J will never get a bad comment. No, never.
But to finish my comment, it's just like, I feel like everybody is going to have, well, first of all, Tyra Banks is a human being. She's not infallible. She's not Jesus Christ. She's not even Mary, okay? So it's like she's going to have human experiences. Like the same way you got to go pee, she got to go pee. The same way you get hungry, she has to go get hungry. And I just choose to kind of, I did a podcast with Top Model Rewind. Guys, go check it out on wherever podcasts are. And I said, I feel like, taking into consideration, she is the face of a global brand. She has her own aspirations. She's a supermodel. She wants to have a television show. She's very ambitious. She has bosses. She has call time. She has things that she has to do. That's a lot of wear and tear on someone.
You can't take it away from her. You can't. But one thing I will say is that I think she could have cared more. Don't get me wrong. I understand. I can understand that it snowballed and ran away from you, but I don't think that on a personal level, it's the same way I said with Ebonee though, isn't it? I don't think that on a personal level, if you wanted to reach out to the last, even, I'm not asking you for the reach out to everyone, but the last 3 girls, just give them a phone call and say, hey. I don't think she realizes how much that could have done, because all of us entered the show mainly because of her.
And see, and with you saying that, this is where I tap her on her ass of not being a person who was aware of, trying to be more and more aware of what's going on, of the temperament around you. Like, Tyra, you can't get on platforms and you can't get in front of our screens and media and present yourself as this crusader for women and you're a mama bear.
She didn't do enough at all.
And you calling them all your girls. And, you love your girls and all this in the interviews, and you're shouting them out, and you're like, you have these moments where you're presented as this big mentor, but behind the scenes or moments where people aren't watching you is something different. That is going to naturally cause people to like. And
honestly, I just think
tear
it
apart your
wouldn't have
character.
taken a lot. If she spoke to every girl for a minute.
Oh, I can't hear you, Tyra. Tyra. Now, see, Tyra, I'm going to get you. Annalise, I can't hear you. Can you guys hear me? Can you guys hear Annalise? Annalise, what did you do? Okay, I'm gonna take you off and then just come back. And then so you can wrap up and we can finish. Is it done now? This is so funny. I love this. She's pantomiming. She's a mime now, guys. We were saying about, I wonder what she's saying. I would like Chinese rice with that. Yes. Can I get a side order of egg rolls? God, dog it. I order this all the time. Thank you. I can't hear you. Okay, I'm going to take you off and bring you back. Now, Annalise Ken. Yo, I can talk to her forever because I feel like, and I knew this was going to happen, her and I have a lot of the same views on just how we view things. And I think, hold on. Call the police! But what I was gonna say about Tyra, if she doesn't come back, I think where Tyra messes up at is, or where has messed up at is, you have to understand that if you present yourself in one way, but you aren't like that all the time, that's gonna make people target you and villainize you. So Tyra just has to make a decision. And if she was in my classroom, I would tell that, look, Miss Tyra Lynn Banks, you got to make a decision. What do you want to do? Do you want to be a mentor? Do you want to be known as a mentor and a crusader for women and all of that? Then you got to be that all the time. Understand, if you don't do that, the people are going to tear you up. Or are you going to treat everything as a job and just show up, get your check, and do that? Okay, well, do that. Well, then that means you can't. Oh, she back. I'm sorry. I was going to get into it. That means you can't. Annalise, you have to send a request. That means you can't, like, let me try. Annalise, no. I at least want to say goodbye. Annalise. Send. I'm trying to add her back, guys. Don't do that. Okay, here we go. Great.
My lips are so dry, babe. I need some lip balm.
Oh, my lips are dry this whole time.
Definitely.
But did you hear the last part I said?
Yes, I was listening.
I feel like
Tyra,
she just has to make a choice and be aware. Be aware.
Yeah. I think she started out aware. I think it ran away from her. And it's the same, I'm going to equate it to the same thing I said about Ebonee. It's like sometimes, I don't know, I want to have core values that like run throughout me regardless. And like, in terms of people that I went through experiences with, yes, you can distance yourself from the experience, but I think there's still a way to keep in contact with people who helped you through that or whatever. I don't want to be that person. Oi, Oliver, if I blow up and I'm, oh my God, far too bougie, I am like, oh my God, Hermes bags dropping from the ceiling, I am too banging. You're the person who's supposed to be like, babe, come back.
I'm going to say, bitch, what you doing?
I just don't understand it, me personally. But at the same time, it's almost like I don't want to throw sand because maybe, you know what, maybe when you blow up, you don't want to come back. But I just want to know the people that knew me before. Like, what the hell? Yeah. How can you live a life with the people that only know you when you got to a certain point of level of fame and blah? It feels fake. It feels doesn't right. I need my ground down bitches, and I don't even mean that as disrespect. I just mean the people that I knew.
No, yeah, I do agree there needs to be some type of core values within them. And like I said, like goes back to what I said, I just feel like she just has to make a decision, like which one you're gonna be. Are you gonna be mama bear? Okay, well, you got to be that all the time. And if you don't be, I understand if you're not that, people are gonna tear you up. Or are you just gonna do your job?
I actually think the only reason she's got hate is because the whole persona was a mama bear. But if you're gonna put out the persona of a mama bear, you've got to kind of be that. And I think she did try to be that, but maybe the monster got too big or something. But like, I don't think it would have been. I just don't think it would have messed up the situation. Even if all the girls are eliminated, it's a week later after they've all been home and Tyra Banks gives each girl a call. I don't think that's too much to... I don't know. Am I expecting too much?
No. And so my immediate answer is going to be yes, you are expecting too much. But if a person's personality has given off that expectation, then it's like, no. Like, that's like, I expected Annalise to come on here and give me energy, and because that's a part of the
what you're
her
gonna get.
brand that she presents, for lack of better terms. So anything else would make me be like, well, what's wrong?
But I actually think regardless of the energy, I mean, it's so hard to put yourself in her position.
I know.
But if
I don't even
I
want to see her
was a
cell phone.
supermodel who had a show and a franchise that was around the world, there's 14 girls that are here in the UK, they get eliminated, or wherever, they get eliminated. Just a little hi, how you doing? I know it was rough. I don't care. Like, so it's not like I'm asking you to explain what we went through on the show, but just the hey.
Being human. But a lot of girls like Allison have great stories, and I've interviewed a dozen who have great, like Tyra is cool with me.
But why is Tyra not cool with Sophie?
I don't know.
I don't know. It's just not making sense to me. Like, I don't know if you're doing it for the, and obviously it's like your kids, you are favorites, like, but I don't actually think that her time, in order to give any of these girls on the show a good impression of them, of herself, especially when it's been so many years, one phone call. If I had a phone call from Tyra, I would remember that and always remember the phone call I had from Tyra.
That she called you and checked up on you.
So I don't understand why she wouldn't do that, if I'm honest, because it doesn't take that much.
Tricky. Like, it's so tricky. Like, it's so tricky because, you know, I try to view things from
tricky. Why is it tricky?
I try to view things from so many different perspectives, and it's like I always battle with like who's right. I know I have my innate feel, but it's like Tyra can feel like because of me, everybody in the world know y'all bitches, so I don't gotta do shit else for y'all. I'm not saying that's the right attitude, but I'm saying that could be her attitude. I've done enough. You're on my show. You have a platform to go make. You have a platform that can make you do other stuff. I've done enough for you.
No, I agree. I do agree to some regard. But if you're going to come back from the other side of it, is that you're now exposing all of these young women to trolls, to blah, 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 to what, like that. And don't get me wrong, I agree, because it's my same mentality as well. Like, I did this, like, what the fuck? I get it. But, and especially in these later seasons, what you're exposing these girls to, it doesn't even take much. You can just have a few thousand followers on Instagram and post a photo of you hating or cussing out somebody, and then they could get hate. When you're Tyra Banks, what you do and your influence is just, it just is what it is. And all I'm saying is that she could just have been a little bit kinder. I'm not asking her to baby us, but a couple messages after, a little. And you know what would make you feel great? Think about when a bad episode aired, and I'm talking about the girls that were on later ones that were like social media driven. A bad episode there, you did, and if Tyra just said, oh, I thought she looked great in this bit, or blah, 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 do you realise the influence of what that one little message would have on the response that that girl's now going to get? I don't know. I just think you have to be responsible for the amount of influence.
Yes. And I was going to say, to whom much is given, much is required. And my main thing for Tyra Banks is Mama just has to be a whole lot more aware. Or maybe I don't know the lady, so it's hard for me to like concretely say something about her. Maybe she is aware, and again, her attitude is, I talk to her the fuck I want to talk to whenever I feel like them. Well, then my response to you is, Tyra, you're not a mama bear. You're not a mentor.
But remember, I don't feel like I know her either. So I can't comment about Tyra Banks. I don't feel any which way about her, and I don't feel like she treated me badly. I don't feel like she manipulated my childhood trauma and used it against me, which has been a lot of I don't feel that way. I am very grateful for the experience that Tyra Banks gave me. I will just always say, I think you could have done more, but it is what it is. Like, I don't know. There's a whole panoramic going on right now.
Panoramic.
So panoramic. Why do I care about Top Model 10 years ago? Like, I don't know. I'm not that fussed.
Do you ever think she'll, like, talk about it?
There's a way that she could make a lot of money about talking about it. Oh, it just came to me. Pattern my idea. You know, like a Real Housewives reunion?
Yes. But, oh no, she would be afraid of that. I don't think
She'd be really afraid. She needs to be Andy Cohen. It wouldn't work unless she was Andy Cohen. But I think that it would be like therapy for her because she'd be facing so much trauma. And I don't think she meant to do bad. Honestly,
I don't think so. I don't think so either.
With negativity.
I don't think
but
so either.
You can't ignore the fact that so many girls had so much negativity about it. Like, you can't ignore that.
No,
Girls,
you can't. Self-aware.
Women have been so destroyed. I personally, I think it's ridiculous. I can't ignore that. I think it's crazy. And if I felt that way about an experience that I had, I would only want to speak out. But I'm upset almost because I use my platform to talk about Top Model. It's almost like I wish that I had an experience.
I know. Like, I
don't. There's no point lying. I don't want to lie. I consider it one of the best things of my life. It's simple. I don't think I'd be who I was without the show. Isn't that crazy?
No, that makes sense. I mean, you just can't gloss over your life and ignore that you were on America's Next Top Model. Like, you just...
But remember, it's not even ignoring just America's. If it wasn't for Tyra, Britain's wouldn't exist. And remember, so it's like a whole... It's basically my whole 20s. My whole 20s is kind of top modelness that I don't know. Don't get me wrong. I think I would have been fabulous either way. But...
Let them know.
But... that show gave me a confidence and a level, and honestly, the fact that I've worked for radio stations and I go out here and do this, I'm not sure if I would have been able to do that without the show. And I'm not saying, sorry, I keep like adding stuff to it. Oh, no, I'm not saying it's because somebody saw me on the show and then I get an opportunity. No. What I'm actually saying is a lot deeper than that. I feel like the person who I am, what I project to people, how I feel, the confidence levels that I have wouldn't have been the same if it wasn't for that show. So it's not about a direct thing of somebody, oh my God, she was on America's Next Top Model, let me get her for that. No. They booked me because of who I am as a growing product from that show.
Right.
Yeah.
Self-awareness. She just has to be self-aware. And like just be okay, like for example, how much time we have left?
I mean, are you trying to leave me? I could get more wine, I could pee.
No, I mean, you know both of us can keep talking and talking.
Forever.
But
I'm not sure. Don't put this in if you don't want to put it in. But we're doing our top 10, right?
Oh.
Okay. I was just checking.
Yes. But like that's like me. That's like me being, who I am, doing these top model chats. And when people DM me, I never responded or I didn't respond to the comments. Now, do I have a crazy schedule? Yes, I do have a very crazy schedule. But me being self-aware, I'm going to love on the people that love on me. Like, I'm going to set aside the time to be present and be grateful and respond to people who are taking out the time to watch.
To comment.
Yes.
Like, crazy.
Yeah, like just to love on them like that, because whatever they see in me, they like, you love on me, I'm going to love back on you. Now, y'all, it be some nights I haven't gone to sleep in like 24 hours. This is real shit. Like, this is real
on
shit.
On a level, I don't think you sleep, Oliver.
No, sometimes I don't.
Day, you've got another chat happening or another this, and I'm like, I want to lie down for you. Like, that's how tired I am.
Like, I can be so tired, but I'm like, if I don't respond or if I don't do this, this may come off, you know, a certain way to people who don't even know what's going on in my world. So again, that's why I just say Tyra just has to work on being self-aware and making a decision.
If you feel that way, I feel like Tyra Banks should feel it 10 million more times. I don't understand.
Sorry,
I actually
keep making it worse for you.
Excuse for it. I don't know. Life's difficult, but if I had a show that had these girls on it, blah blah, and I get it, we're so far into it. But a little conversation after girls were eliminated, I really don't think is some massive thing. Especially considering we don't see you on the show. We don't see you. You're never there. It's not like you're there all the time and then I'm asking for a call. I don't know.
I would do that. Like, I would. Like, I would send y'all. First of all, I would make sure y'all pay for your time. And then I would send y'all care packages.
That's what I said, a care package.
If I was Tyra Banks,
I would send you bare shit with ANTM on the back and like little cute, like I would personally, fuck the show.
Quite honest, if I was Tyra Banks, I would have set up my own modeling agency. And since, excuse my French, since y'all bitches then came on my show and y'all using my name, I'm gonna keep putting y'all bitches to work. Y'all gonna go, hey, go audition. Go audition.
Clearly,
bring me back.
Clearly, because I would hustle that way as well. But maybe her mentality wasn't the same. But something that I feel that is technically not excusable is just giving us a little bit of just a tad. Just, it's not even like I'm asking for a lot. Just a little. If I received a phone call from Tyra Banks for a minute, I think it could have changed how you felt about the whole thing.
I
know
agree.
What I mean?
I agree.
That's all I'm saying.
I agree. Well, Annelise, is there anything else you want? What song are you singing in your head?
I'm not actually quite sure. I really need to pee, which is where we're at mainly.
Me too. So, with that, Annelise, is there anything else you want to add to this live that you haven't said?
I really hope that I've answered a lot of your questions. I wasn't really looking at the comments, but I really hope I have. At the moment, I've been super lazy on YouTube. Oliver, I've been so lazy, I can't even bring myself to do a YouTube.
I take breaks too.
But you know what? I've been on TikTok.
I've been seeing you.
Outfits. I am giving you energy. I'm giving you Annaliese-ness all up on TikTok.
Annaliese-ness.
Yeah, it's all of that.
Tyra Banks and Fulton.
Find me on TikTok, Annaliese Dayes. You know who I am. It's the same as Instagram, YouTube, etc. Find me there. I'll be shimmying around in some kind of outfit. Beyond that, happy lockdown.
Happy lockdown. Happy.
Are you even locked down? Like what?
No.
Where can you go? Can you go to dinner?
Oh, girl, I can go to the dinner. I can go to the movies. Well, wait, I don't know if you can go to the movies yet. Maybe. I can go to dinner. I can go
to dinner.
I can go to the mall. I can go to stores. We went to the arcade the other week. Now, when I went to the arcade, now granted, because I am Oliver Twixt in Atlanta.
Superstar.
Well, no, it's just, you know, when you see the ring, kiss it. But no, I'm just playing. But I did have them set us aside. So, like, you know, it was my own little bubble. But you can do whatever you want to do here in Atlanta.
None of that is open here. Like, literally, the only thing you can do is an extracurricular thing is go for a walk. That's it. It's a whole stress.
But you got a man. Like, do you guys play games with each other? I love you, Annalise. I'm so happy I did this.
He's super cute. We love him. He is literally keeping me sane on a level. My boyfriend is keeping me sane because this is maybe the third lockdown that has been in the UK, and I don't want to end this negatively, but this third lockdown, like, I'm done. I don't want to do it. I ain't here for it. I'm not happy about it. And he's just been keeping me sane throughout the whole thing, but it's a lot.
Ooh, Now, I may be confusing you with Bianca, who just got engaged, but you and your boyfriend aren't engaged, right? Uh-oh. Did the live go away? All right, y'all. I think that was a proper exit, Annalise. But I must say, this won't be the last time you guys see Annalise and Oliver Twixt together. This was just really us just chopping it up. But we have some other content that we've already mapped out that we're going to bring to you guys very soon as our calendars coincide. Because, Lord Jesus, like I said, a lot of stuff be going on in Miss Oliver's world. I got a lot of stuff moving around, but I try to manage it the best way I can. I think I'm doing a damn good job. So it should be coming soon. That's all I got to say. Listen, we have done the Lord's work today, so class is dismissed. No homework, bitches. I'll see you guys back this week because we have a lot of things to catch up on. We have a lot. Ooh, we got some chats this week that I cannot wait for you guys to see. And with that being said, I love you guys so much. Thank you guys for supporting, watching, sharing, commenting, subscribing, liking, all those good things. No, I'm not sweating. I think it's I'm probably am a little oily, probably. I put a little powder on, but anyways, there's nothing left to say, excuse me. Class is dismissed. And be sure to what? I know y'all are saying it over there. Be sure to pray and kindle! ZAP, zapping all you hoes away like get back, get back. ZAP, zapping all you hoes away like get back, get back. ZAP, zapping all you hoes away like get back, get back. ZAP, zapping all you hoes away like get back, get back. Get back, get back. Get back, get back, get back, get back. Get back, get back. Get back, get back. ZAP, zapping all you hoes away like ZAP, zapping all you hoes away like